My brother Sam is dead. Summary. Chapter 2, Tim explains the religious background of the town of Reading. People built their houses according to the church they attended, either Anglican or Presbyterian. Tim's family lives in Reading Ridge, which signals that they're Anglicans and therefore loyalist. Tim does not feel he is particularly tied to the Loyalists or rebels, which worries him. Tim goes to church and sits in the balcony, hoping to escape thoughts about Sam, but as soon as he arrives his friend Jerry Sanford mentions Sam. Then Mr. Beach, the preacher, gives a sermon on Sam's departure to fight. After church, Tom Rips, an Indian who lives nearby, confides to Tim that Sam is currently staying in his hut. Tim makes up an excuse to his father and docks away to speak with Sam. He finds Sam sitting inside the teepee, holding hands with Betsy Reed, his girlfriend and the granddaughter of Colonel Reed, a prominent local patriot. Tim hesitantly reasons with Sam, telling him of father's tears in hopes that Sam will give up the war and go back to college. Sam is silent for a moment but still steadfast in his decision. Betsy Reed asks Tim whose side he's on, a question that Tim evades by saying he does not fully understand either side. Sam speaks again of principles and the patriot spirit rising in the cities outside of Reading, and says, "You should be willing to die for your principles." Betsy agrees and says she would fight on Sam's side, given the chance. Sam and Betsy try to persuade Tim to eavesdrop on conversations in the tavern to help the rebel cause. Tim is uncomfortable with this request and says he must go. He has father's Brown Bess gun and he pleads with Sam to return it. Betsy asks Tim if he wants Sam to get killed. Sam asks Tim not to tell, and Tim promises not to. He begins to cry and departs for home. Chapter 3. Tim speaks of the effects of the war on his home life. He had thought the war would bring battles and great change to his quiet Connecticut village, but it is not. There are no marching armies, no cannons, no food shortages. There's just lots of talk about the war, as there always was. Occasionally the arguments get heated, as when father throws a man out of the tavern for subversion, by which he means criticism of the British Army. Betsy often stops by to listen to conversations, but Tim's mother always shoos her along. Once Betsy pulls Tim aside and asks if he would tell his parents if Sam returned to Reading. Tim says that he would not, and then he waits for a signal from Betsy that Sam has returned. 1 month after another passes, but no word of Sam comes. Tim works hard during this time and becomes very strong in arithmetic, all the while waiting for Sam to return so that he can impress him with his new skills and hard work. Finally, one November day, Betsy comes to the tavern and nods furtively to Tim, who knows this means that Sam has returned.